Welcome to my third video in the VRS Indycar training series. We've already covered qualifying, car management, and pitting in the first two videos. This final lesson is scenario-based and will teach you how to run in traffic, pass, and swap draft effectively and efficiently. If you haven't seen the first two videos, just click the URL on your screen to get access to them today. If you have, let's get started. Like the first two videos, the first thing you need to do before launch is to set your front A or B to 6, your rear A or B to 1, and your weight checker to 0. The first scenario begins once the field settles into traffic. As you can see, I'm behind two cars a couple of laps into the stint. In an effort to find clean air and minimize the aero wash that happens when following multiple cars, I'm going to pick the lane that has the least amount of cars. Here, it's the bottom lane, which also happens to be the shortest distance, and I only have one car's aero wash, which is less than if there were 2 or 3 in front of me. I'm going to lift early into every corner to make sure that I can get to each apex. This also helps save the right front tire so you don't have a lot of understeer later in the run. The other benefit to lifting early is it can sometimes allow you to get back to the throttle sooner than the cars in front and help you get the run off the corner to potentially make a pass. In this situation, the key is to lift early enough to hit the apex, but lifting too much could make it too hard to draft up back on the straights. Get with teammates or friends and take turns practicing this, and it will make a big difference. In this next scenario, the two cars in front have decided to follow each other and run the normal racing line. Like I mentioned before, what you need to do is to find the lane that will give you the cleanest air, which in this case is the second lane. As you can see, there is no one in front of me, and it's free air to allow my car to handle a lot better than if I were to follow them on the normal racing line. Sometimes, the third lane is an option for clean air as well. If you're following in the normal racing line isn't working, you can try running higher in the third lane, offsetting further to the right of the outside car. This will give you the clean air through the corner, but it's also a longer way around the corner. It can also be easier to misjudge how much room you have to the wall on exit and potentially hit it. So use this at your own risk, knowing it could pay off, but there is also some risk. To set up a pass on the outside with two cars following each other on the normal racing line, the technique begins as we come up the corner here. Step 1 is to lift and maintain a gap to the car in front. As you approach the corner, you need to get back to full throttle and time the run to swing to the outside into the corner. As you can see, I'm using the clean air to my advantage and barely lifting. This will trap the inside car and force them to lift as they experience the aero wash from the car in front of them and now from me. This is a good offensive tactic because at times it can be very hard to pass on the inside here, especially when there's a car directly in front of you giving you the dirty air. The trick is to time the run into the corner so that you are full throttle and can use the speed gained from the toe to get alongside and force them to lift and gain the position. In this next scenario, you can see I'm following one car and I'm offsetting myself to the right solely because I want the pure clean air through the corners. It makes following the car easy and allows me to relax a little and not worry about getting suddenly tight from the dirty air and hitting the wall. Running to their outside allows me to set up a run down the straight and swing to the inside and attempt to pass into the next corner like this. So practice this technique until it feels comfortable, and it will keep you on pace and can allow you to make opportunities to pass throughout the race. This leads me to our last scenario, swap drafting. It's a technique when two cars leapfrog each other down the straightaways in order to gain an advantage. This is almost always faster than just following in line, and the key to doing this is to leave enough of a gap to the car in front through the corners to be able to swing to the inside about 3/4 of the way down the straightaway. To make this work, you should stay tucked in behind the car in front until as late as possible down the straightaways. This ensures you get all of the effects from the toe and can carry the speed increase into the next corner. Once you pass, it's also very important to reset your weight jacker to what you had when you were running in clean air. If you don't, it's very easy to spin out as you get to the corner because of it. Doing this with another driver effectively and efficiently can lead to gaining seconds on your competitors at times, especially during green flag pit stops. Remember, everything I've shown you in this video requires practice, and to get really great at anything means you have to put the time in. But what you may have discovered by now is that watching this video has opened your eyes to the opportunity to get better faster. Because just running laps will eventually get you there, but knowing what to practice saves you time and gets you there sooner. I'm Brandon Trano, and I hope you've watched and enjoyed all 3 videos. If you want to learn more and see how I approach each track, just go to the URL on your screen to get setups, my full tutorials, your own telemetry from every lap, personal training, and so much more. Have a great day, and I'll see you on track.